Back to school 2020 got you feeling overwhelmed? Me too. Today I'm sharing 10 recipes that are gonna take your lunch or dinner time from stressful to successful. Each of these recipes is cooked in one appliance, which means less mess, less stress, and some full tummies that are ready to learn. Hey, I'm Kathy from fabulesslyfrugal.com. I'm a mom of 8, and right now I've got 5 kids that have been doing school online for the last 4 weeks, and we're barely surviving. I know you've been feeling the same, so I decided to put together this list of recipes packed with easy lunch or dinner ideas. I got 6 Instant Pot recipes, 3 air fryer recipes that you can easily adapt for oven if you don't have an air fryer, and 1 recipe using your blender. And to help you even more, I've got links to all of those recipes down below in the description, plus that shopping list. Are you ready to see how easy these meals are? Let's go. First, a favorite dump and go recipe, Instant Pot Mississippi chicken sandwiches. It's a spin-off of the internet famous Mississippi roast, and only a few ingredients are needed to throw this amazing meal together. Okay, first you're gonna need to grab 1.5 to 2 pounds of chicken. You can either do fresh or frozen. Then throw in 1 cup of chicken broth, and then 1 package of ranch seasoning, which I just have the big bottle from Costco, so I just threw in 3 tablespoons. Then your package of au jus seasoning or au jus gravy mix, and then anywhere from 4 to 6 tablespoons of butter. I had a little extra chicken, so I threw in 6 tablespoons of butter there. And lastly, you're gonna grab some pepperoncinis. Now these do add a little bit of heat. You can take them out afterwards. They do add some great flavor, and my kids actually really enjoyed this one. Go ahead and close up your Instant Pot. Now, if you're using big frozen chicken breasts like I am, go ahead and cook that for 30 minutes on high. If you're using thawed out chicken breast, you could do 15. And if you're using chicken tenders, you could go down to about 6 minutes. And then go ahead and let your chicken slow pressure release. You can let it out sooner if you need to. And check it out, it smells so good. Set your chicken out, and you're gonna just shred that up. I started using my claws, but I find it actually sometimes easier to use a good knife. I will link to that knife, it's my favorite. And I just chopped up my chicken, and you're gonna throw it right back in your Instant Pot. Now, if you've got picky eaters, you can pull those peppers out before you throw the chicken back in. Now, you've got some delicious shredded chicken. You could serve that over rice, over potatoes, but we chose to serve ours on some toasted hoagie buns. I toasted those buns in the air fryer, and then we melted some provolone cheese on top, and oh my goodness, those sandwiches were so good. Up next, homemade pizza bagel bites. We love to use the air fryer for this one, but you can totally use your oven as well. I love these because the kids can easily customize the topping on their pizzas, and it's so easy to utilize the air fryer right there on my counter. So we are just gonna slice 2 little bagels in half. Then we're gonna stick them in the air fryer, pop them in the air fryer, and then place on your toppings. I've got lots of different topping ideas down below, like my favorite Alfredo sauce. 400, 4 minutes. All right, pizza bagels. Probably could have even gone to 3 minutes on these. Let's go taste test the bagel bites. Here's another fun idea, and you're gonna use your blender. Green smoothies for lunch. You can pack these up with veggies and protein and serve it alongside one of these meals, or it could be a great mid-morning snack, or really can stand alone as its own meal. You're gonna see me making these as grab-and-go individual serving smoothie packs, but if you wanna make 1 large batch in your blender, just multiply the recipe by the number of servings that you need. Either way, my kids are requesting smoothies several times a week, and I love how these smoothies make it easy to incorporate veggies into their day. Okay, for each smoothie, you're gonna want to get some greens. I prefer the baby spinach here. A 1/2 cup of berries. You can do fresh or frozen. I just have a bunch of bags of whatever in my freezer, so I'm pulling those out so I can make a whole lot of smoothie packs at once. Some nice ripe bananas, you can see I found some here. And then I like to use Greek yogurt. I like to throw in some coconut flakes and some flaxseed. So we get a nice well-rounded smoothie. I might throw some of this in for the kids to make it a little bit sweeter. These clips, I finally broke down and bought some. These work out really great, especially for these smoothies. Just line them all up and bag them. It goes really quick. Quart-sized freezer bags work fantastic for smoothies. I like to grab a big handful of spinach and stuff it in there. Then add a half to 1 cup of berries, any mixture that your family will love, and about 1/4 to half of a banana, a half tablespoon of flaxseed. I'm adding a half tablespoon of coconut as well, and a little squirt of agave syrup for some sweetness, and about 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt, and then get out as much air as you can and seal those up. But these smoothie packs are so fun and versatile. Add any type of fruit that you love and pack them up for the freezer. Now this pack has been frozen for a couple of hours, and of course my daughter is ready for a smoothie. So here's how you prepare it. I like to soak the bag in hot water for a minute to loosen things up a little bit. Dump it in the blender and then see how you have all this stuff. I go add hot water to the bag, seal it up, shake it around, and get everything else in the bag, and just dump that hot water into your blender and then blend away. Oh, good. These are really so great. These will typically make 1 serving. For my little girls, they can share 1 easily. Up next, grilled cheese sandwiches in the air fryer. I like to have some tomato soup on hand. The kids can just make these on their own right there in the air fryer, and it's fun to dip them in tomato soup. Of course, you can cook these on the stovetop or the oven. Making these in the air fryer is so easy, and the bread gets extra crunchy. It's so creamy and delicious in the middle with that melted cheese. I do have a tip. You want to kind of have a thicker, heavier, moister type of bread. This is what I'm using, Grandma Sycamore's. I don't know, you might have something similar wherever you live. So it's just a typical thing. Do your favorite kind of cheese. I'm just doing some shredded cheese. It's a little messy in the air fryer, but really the air fryer cleans up so quickly, so it's not too bad. I've got some soft butter in here. Just gonna butter up the bread, throw them here in the air fryer. You're gonna love how crispy these get. Close that up. I'm gonna hit it back down to 325, and let's go for about 5 minutes. Alrighty, grilled cheese. What we can see here is it's hot, it's melted, it's buttery, so I could stop here, or I could give it another little whirl just for a smidgy more toasting. Let's go up to 400 for 1 minute. There we go. Okay, let's take a peek here. These are nice. These are good. Nice, crispy, cheesy, crunchy. How about some homemade mac and cheese in the Instant Pot? It stays warm right in there during that long break where I have kids coming in and out of the kitchen for lunch. Plus, it's homemade, so there's no processed ingredients. Plus, it's so low maintenance, and the results are fabulous. First trick is to hit the saute button, because we're gonna melt 4 tablespoons of butter. That's a half stick. The butter melting is going to make it so you don't have a big mess when you release the pressure after you're cooking the pasta. And it's gonna help bring the Instant Pot to pressure even faster, so it'll save time. Once it's melted, add in 4 cups of chicken broth, a teaspoon of your favorite hot sauce. Don't worry, this won't make it spicy. It's just gonna add some depth to the flavor. A tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of garlic powder, half teaspoon of pepper, then whisk that up. Next, add your pound of macaroni. This measures out to about 4 cups. You can use pasta shells if you want to. Either is gonna work. Just move it around so that all the pasta is covered. No need to stir it up. Next, put your lid on and then make sure it's set to sealing. Now, I have the Instant Pot Duo Plus, and it comes with the easy seal lid. See how cool it is? I love it. I'll link to it down in the description below. I have found that 5 minutes works perfectly for what my family likes. If you like your pasta a little more firm, go 4 minutes. And while that's cooking, you can get your cheese ready. And when it's done, go ahead and quick release. Now you'll notice, because we added that butter in the beginning, there was just a little bit of extra sputtering from the steam. Give it a stir, and then you will add a half to 1 cup of milk. You could do heavy cream if you want. I prefer to start with a half cup of milk, and then I can add more if I need to. And then simply just add those cheeses in a couple handfuls at a time and stir as you go. That way you don't have to have clumping. Again, it's the cup of sharp, medium, and parm. And we just get that stirred up till everything melts Then I add in the cream cheese. I've got 3 ounces here. This will take a little bit longer to melt, but because my Instant Pot is still on the warm setting and everything's nice and hot, it's not too bad. Now, after a taste test, I decided I wanted a little bit more sharp cheese, so I added 1 more cup of sharp cheese. And that's the beauty of this recipe, because you can make it work to however you want. Once that's all blended and melted, it is ready to go. Add more milk if you need to, but for us, this was perfect. You will see there's a little bit of stringiness going on, but I've made other batches with mozzarella and not the cream cheese, and it was way super stringy. And this is just the perfect amount of cheesy and creaminess for Instant Pot mac and cheese. Okay, you guys, the next one is Instant Pot chicken gnocchi soup. And instead of noodles, you get to use those cute little gnocchi pasta thingies. They fit perfectly on a spoon and it's just fun to eat. And of course, it all cooks up right in your Instant Pot. First thing, go ahead and turn your Instant Pot on saute. And then you're gonna add in a cup of chopped onion, which was about a half onion, depending on the size of your onion. 1 cup of chopped carrots, which was about 1.5 large carrots for me. And a cup of chopped celery. And I had like 6 organic celery stalks for that cup. And then you're gonna add in 5 cloves of minced garlic, or I did about a tablespoon of garlic from the jar, and a 1/4 cup of flour. Sprinkle that in, whisk those together. It actually was easier to use my wooden spoon. Then pull out your whisk and pour in 4 cups of chicken broth. Whisk those together, and then you're gonna go ahead and add 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And then you're just gonna let that cook. So tap on your manual pressure cook high for 15 minutes. And then when it's done, you're gonna do a quick release. And look at all that goodness. Go ahead and take your chicken breasts out, set those aside. You can chop those up later. And then you're gonna wanna set your pressure cooker to the saute mode, because you're gonna pour in your gnocchi and you want that to cook up a little bit. So go ahead and drop that in. I found that in the refrigerator section. I had to stir that up a little bit and break those apart. But then I just left them alone for a couple minutes, and you'll see they just start coming to the top of the water. It was so fun to watch. Boop, boop, boop. When your gnocchi is done, you're gonna pour in your chicken and 1.5 cups of whole milk or heavy cream. And then 2 cups of chopped spinach. Then you need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Go ahead and turn your Instant Pot off, and then just let that sit for about 5 minutes so all those flavors come together. And oh my goodness, this one was so fun to eat. Chicken lo mein in the Instant Pot. Say what? Yes, it's true, and I've got some hacks that it really is so easy, and it's packed with veggies that you don't even have to chop. It's just so easy to throw together, and I know I sound like I'm a broken record, but I'm all about easy. All right, first thing we're gonna do is get 3 cups of chicken broth. You're gonna put that in your Instant Pot. A 1/4 cup of low sodium soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of avocado oil, a 1/2 teaspoon of sesame oil, 1 teaspoon of dried minced garlic, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, and 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. And go ahead and whisk all of that up. You wanna make sure your Instant Pot is still off so that cornstarch can mix in. Get that all whisked up. Next, you will add 8 ounces of Chinese noodles. Now, I didn't have any Chinese noodles, so I just used thin spaghetti noodles and weighed out 8 ounces, which was obviously half of a box. So go ahead and break your noodles in half and layer those. Just a crisscross applesauce type of layering so the noodles don't stick together. Now, if you need to add a little more liquid in there, go ahead and do that. You just want the noodles just barely covered. Next, you're gonna go ahead and add 1 pound of chicken tenders. Now, I had a little bit more than a pound. And if you only have chicken breasts, that is fine too. You just cut them into 1.5 inch strips and they will cook so nicely in here. And then I like to add some salt and pepper. And then that is it. You are ready to cook that up. Go ahead and close up your Instant Pot, turn your valve to sealing, and you're gonna cook it on high pressure for 3 minutes. Go ahead and let it just slow release for 6 minutes, and then you're gonna quick release the rest of the pressure. And once that's released, take the lid off and pull out your chicken. Oh, it looks so great. Then you're gonna get a 12-ounce bag of just fresh stir-fry veggies. And I just found these in the salad department, all ready to go. And then leave your pressure cooker on the keep warm setting and turn the lid on and seal it back up. And while you wait, chop up your chicken. And then it's really up to you. You can wait anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to let those veggies steam any way you want them. If you need a little bit longer, just put the lid back on. And here are my veggies. After about 10 minutes, they were just perfectly tender, crisp, and so colorful, and the kids really liked this one. Up next, I'm gonna show you how to cook up some amazing chicken thighs. We do it in the air fryer, and we love to use this chicken for chicken street tacos. And because it's a taco bar, it's perfect for picky eaters because they can just get the parts that they want, and everybody's happy. Let's start with our spice mix. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, ½ teaspoon of pepper, and a pinch of cayenne pepper. Go ahead and shake that up, set it aside. I've got 3 pounds here. I'm gonna just use 2 pounds of chicken thighs and just pat them dry with paper towel. And then you're gonna get about 2 teaspoons of oil and just rub it into the chicken thighs. Now, as I was doing this, I found there was a little more fat than I wanted, so I trimmed those off. And then just get your bowl of spices and dip your chicken in the bowl and rub it all around. You'll have just enough to coat all of your chicken. And next, you'll place it right in your air fryer basket. You just want to leave space in between so the air can get around and cook them up and make them nice and crispy, juicy. Chicken is ready to go. We got the first batch in the basket. We're gonna go ahead and cook this at 400 for 12 to 16 minutes. We just want it to get to where it will read 175 on my handy dandy instant read thermometer. Okay, here we are. I got sidetracked and forgot to check these at 12 minutes, so it's been 16 minutes, and well, yep, they are done. So I'm gonna just wrap these up in foil and do my other batch. Here's a few tips with the chicken. If you are a little bit worried about making your chicken go far enough, get these cute little tiny, aren't they adorable? They have flour or white corn tortillas, and you can help the kids fill up a little bit more with less chicken because not a lot fits in here. Also will work great for these regular sized tacos. And what I love on these is cilantro lime dressing. I also have a recipe below. I don't have any made today, boo-hoo. But I love buying the coleslaw mix and serving this on top as the lettuce topping because it makes such a nice crunchy taco. Just so good. Get that, your cheese, your sour cream, whatever toppings your family loves. Get it ready now because the next step is chop, 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 and then eat. Up next, a total fan favorite, Instant Pot chicken burrito bowls. Cook it up, stir it up, dish it up, and you eat it. You ready to check this one out? In your Instant Pot, you will add in a pound of boneless, skinless chicken breasts that are just cut up into 1-inch chunks, and then a packet of taco seasoning. Now, I actually use a homemade taco seasoning blend. I will link to that below. And a cup of chicken broth. And go ahead and stir that up a little bit. Then you'll throw in a can of corn that's drained, or you can use frozen corn too. And then 1 can of black beans, rinsed and drained. And then the recipe does call for 1 small can of chopped green chilies, but my kids actually don't love that in recipes, so I leave that one out. And instead, I just added in a couple tablespoons more of chicken broth. And then you've got a cup of rice and 1 cup of salsa. Now you can stir that up if you want, or just leave it as is. And you're gonna go ahead and set your timer. Select the manual setting and adjust your pressure to 10 minutes on high. When it's done, go ahead and quick release. And when all the pressure is out, take off the lid. And what have you got? You got some yummy chicken burrito bowls. Go ahead and stir that up and then add in a cup or more of cheese. And you are ready to go. You can serve that on tortillas or just eat it as is. Top it with some sour cream and some chopped cilantro. So good on this one. And finally, last of all, it's Instant Pot Meatballs. This is an easy one because you just buy a bag of frozen meatballs, and then I've got a few spices and sauces you throw in. You can serve them alone or over rice to make those meatballs go even further. So you'll see I've got my scale here, and that's because I love to do measurements while I do this recipe. Instead of trying to do ketchup and honey in a measuring cup, I love to just throw them here and weigh them. So 136 grams, ½ cup of ketchup, right there. Doesn't have to be perfect. I got 140 grams, it looks like. And then honey is 1/3 cup and 111 grams. Okay, so we gotta ketchup, our honey, just 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and I throw in 2 tablespoons of water. And then we need 3 garlic cloves minced, or if you're like me, you go easy, it's done for me. 3 garlic cloves is gonna be 1½ teaspoons or 1/2 tablespoon. Okay, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce or 30 milliliters. Okay, now I've got all of those ingredients in there. I'm actually done with the scale, and I'm gonna turn on the saute button. But while I'm waiting for that, I am gonna pull my trusty scale out again. Tear this out, and I've changed it to ounces, and now I'm just gonna weigh out 28 ounces of these frozen meatballs from Costco. Now you could do homemade frozen meatballs, they just need to be fully cooked and they're frozen. So right there, that's what I used. And you can see, here's what 28 ounces of meatballs looks like. It's about 40 meatballs. All right, so this is mixed. It's just heating up a little bit with the saute. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the meatballs in. I'm gonna go ahead and close up the lid. I'm gonna turn off my saute. Make sure that I am sealed. And we're gonna run this for 2 minutes. It's done. We're gonna quick release this baby and let that steam out. Okay, all the steam is out. Let's take a look. Ooh, check it out. Hey, I hope this has been helpful for you. Don't forget I got a shopping list down below of all of the recipes and links to the printables. And if you like saving time and cooking in bulk, be sure to check out this one. It's 8 freezer meals I put together in 1 hour. And I think you're gonna like this one as well. I will see you guys next time.